All right, morning, day 2. We were debating leaving the site or whether to stay for a little bit. So we ended up staying for a couple hours, just hung a few things up, but it was just windy. It's still a little bit humid, still a little bit warm. So we just decided, okay, the tent and enough stuff has dried out, so sorry, Rook. So we just packed up as much as we can. The tent was relatively dry, the tarp was relatively dry. And as luck would have it, as soon as we do all that, here comes the rain. So, I don't know, tough call. Do we want to just sit in a tent all day and hang out because apparently we have lots of time on this trip? I'm not really sure whether that's the case or not. So we decided to throw our rain jackets on and our gear, and we are now on the move. There's lots of sites that are considered good today that are not huge distances, and there's been no thunder at all, so we're looking forward to maybe just a little bit of paddling. We have just a 150-meter portage, and then we have lots and lots of paddling ahead of us, so hopefully the rain kind of, I don't know, probably goes in and out. We'll see.
On day 1, we flew into Burnt Rock Lake before entering the mouth of the Palisade River and heading east towards our world-class site. Day 2 had us completing one short 150-meter portage before heading south. Here, we would encounter a series of portageable rapids and fast-moving water. Finally, we would continue east across the height of land before reaching our final site on Scrag Lake.
Portage number 1 of the day. It's quite easy. I liked there was like some blaze, like 2 lines up on the tree, so it kind of showed you where the portage was. Graeme's got the canoe up, shaking the water off. Rook's here, he's got a life jacket on, and we're off. The bugs are here, but they're not too bad if you're moving.
Caitlin and I paddle a Novacraft 16-foot prospector made out of tough stuff material. We chose this boat because it is fairly light at 56 pounds, but also has the durability to withstand heavy use and endure worst-case scenarios where the boat might get pinned in a rapid.
You can hear the fast-moving water, the white water on the left of us.
What do you want to go back to land?
I want the mosquitoes to go back to the land.
Yeah, same. So does Rook.
You know, it's like Rook with spikes on my line.
Oh, yeah. Should we check our map, buddy? See what we got. We just went over this portage. So now we hug the right-ish shoulder, and then we'll go into a big bay. There should be an island on the right. And we just keep going straight for a little bit. So I figured while we were out here I'd tell you a funny story. So I caught a ton of pickerel yesterday, pretty much every cast. Other than like 2 casts, I either caught a pike or a pickerel. And I didn't even fish that much just because the way the day was going. And we're learning that this guy here, Rookie, is not a big fan of fishing from the canoe unless he's in the front with Kate being distracted. So anyways, we caught and I cleaned 2 of them. Not like the best filleting job. I'm new to this, so I've only ever filleted, well, yesterday were my first 2 pickerel I've ever filleted. I've never filleted them before, and everyone says, oh, they're so easy, da 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 da, and yeah, I'm sure they are, but for someone who's filleted maybe 4 fish in his life, it's just not the reality. And so I have to learn that skill, and I have to be okay with it. So last night when we were trying to cook them, I put too much water in the Ziploc. I put too much of the fish crisps. You know, I see all these guys on YouTube, they just throw some oil in a pan and then boom, they have these like big juicy fillets. Like, I'm not there yet, but hopefully one day I will. And so the fish was terrible. There was too much oil. It was soaked up. And so we put it in a double zip in a garbage bag. But then I was going to rinse out the pot after we had cleaned it, and the rocks were so slippery. I slipped into the water, and it's like a shallow little bed of rock, and the pot just went flying into the water. So here I am. It's like 8:45 at night. It's pouring rain, and Kate's back is like trying to clean up my terrible mess still, and I'm out there stranded like a literal seal flopping around on the slippery rocks, and I'm wearing my rain jacket, so it's completely soaked. And then a rook comes along and he sees that there's a pot in the water, and he's a retriever, so he goes out to the pot and he says, no, this isn't something I can bring back. And so I have to keep swimming. I get it out, but then I can't get out of the water because it's so slippery. Like, I'm literally pushing my legs trying to get out of this really, really steep, slippery portion. And I finally find like this little ledge that I can put my two big toes on. And so I lay flat and I just push off and I kind of flop my way up onto the shore and roll over. And it was just a complete disaster. But it was like, you know, sometimes I find like we can romanticize a lot of these trips, and like we get the coffee press shot in the morning, and we're eating the oatmeal and it's beautiful. And there are those moments. We had those this morning, but Kate and I just say like there's realities when you're on trips and just things that happen, and it's just really funny. But that story will be like something hilarious that I'll be able to always have. Good boy, Ricky. Pretty cool spot. We have not seen like these big cliffs like this. It's basically just been like rocky, barren trees, rocky. Big cool cliffs.
Oh, you got some there.
I'm figuring out her tricks, Rook. Little snacky snack before the portage.
We stopped around 1:30 for lunch at the start of a portage. I carried our gear while Kate made peanut butter and Nutella wraps with dried fruit and apples. The bugs were still quite bad, so we ate at the start of the portage where the wind kept the mosquitoes at bay.
Not sure what happened with these boats. Assuming they're no longer functional. Yikes.
After finishing our lunch, we took a few minutes to enjoy the rushing waters of the Palisade River. We then continued along the portage where we found wild blueberries and fresh bear scat. We decided to continue on our journey and fish the base of the falls.
Another beauty walleye pickerel. Woo! Sitting in an eddy. Got another. Oh yeah. Whoa. Just perfect hooks.
Good job. You gonna smile at this one?
Every cast. Every cast. Okay, let's do a couple more paddle strokes in there. Just back to the eddy. Kate just absolutely distracts Rook.
Like, stop petting me.
First cast with that one on the other line. Going for another.
You can't hear the flop.
Yeah. Oh, another bite. Got one. Whoa. I think it's a snag. Yeah, it's a snag. Another one. Just drop it in. Just drop the jig in and see what happens, baby.
Another one.
Oh yeah. He's got a blue fin too, I think.
Oh.
Wow. I don't know if they all just look like this, but look at that. Look at the coloring. It's definitely got the blue fin.
That's cool. Dude, it's got some worms on its tail though.
Yeah. And those off for it. One more drop in the bucket. Here we go. I'm gonna cast it back a little bit. So Kate has to distract Rook while I toss it in.
He's got the pot, you saw.
Basically, by the time the jig hits the ground and I do 2 or 3 reels, just wait a second. We may be a little too far back from the falls now, but nothing. So you gotta be a little bit closer into the pool, I think.
Yeah.
And then it's automatic. Every time, just boom, boom, boom. So I'm just literally using the pre-jig that I had on left from Father's Day weekend that I caught nothing on, and just a white grub, and it's just smash every little time I go for it. I'm not a fisherman, I don't really know what I'm doing. I was just told to drop a jig in at the base of falls, and that's what I'm doing. And it's non-stop. So, yeah. So much fun. And that's the benefits, I guess, of being all the way out here, right? It takes so much work and so many frustrating times, potentially, but also a lot of beautiful scenery. So the fishing has been so fun. I'm gonna get in here after going through those trees, and we'll go out to the right side, and then we'll pull over and scout the fast water.
We had finished portaging around several sets of rapids and were approaching a section labeled as fast water on our map. We didn't think it would be too much trouble, but we decided to be cautious and eddy out to scout the area. You never know what can happen being this far away.
Because I don't want us to crash into the rocks, so we'll go like sideways. Okay, let's paddle in. Now I'm gonna aim to like beach us on the right side of that log. I know there's gonna be logs and stuff, so just be ready to hit stuff. Okay. Okay. Brooks. He's probably okay.
Kate stabilized the boat as I took my exit, and we both took a walk along the shore to scout it. We saw a clear V running down the middle and no visible rocks, and found that it was totally fine.
So we're gonna back paddle. Yeah. And then we're gonna go just to the right of center. That's good. I'll just paddle here. Okay, and we're gonna go just to the right of where you see those. Yeah. Okay, so you can go forward now. On the left side, please. Yeah, I can see there's a V. Good. Well done.
We were sure to take our time on this set of swifts and the next one as well, and we easily cleared them before moving on to our portage that would reach the height of land.
On top of the world. That's a tough climb up. Oh boy. And we're headed over there, allegedly. So, finished the day with a 200-meter portage we really had a hard time finding. It turned out to be pretty much straight uphill. There's a few cairns that showed us where we were supposed to be going. So that portage was really challenging, but even better was at the very end. I just kept walking straight into the water, as I often do, to just put the canoe down right away. And it looked like sand, but it was waist deep muck. So I got to do the portage a third time and go back to the start, jump in the water where it was deeper, and come back and wipe off the sludge. So yesterday I threw a pot in the lake. Today I threw myself in a sketchy little spot. Everything is a lot of work out here, just in terms of like navigation, finding sites, and maybe it's just we're not used to it. Like we're just used to a different type of backcountry. But it's a lot of work. When you get to your site, we've been used to just like you quickly set up on a nice pine needle set, you find a little bit of wood, and boom, you get to your evening with some shade and some beautiful clotheslines. But it's a very different landscape out here. It's barren and it's open, but it has its own charm. Like we got to our site and the black flies were just destroying us, and so, well, I had to start a fire, but in order to do that I had to find some firewood that's been soaked for 3 days, and we just had to find a way. And so that's what I'm learning, is that you can't get caught up. You can't get caught up in whatever you're doing at the moment and get frustrated. Or you can be frustrated, but you have to move on quickly. You can't pout. Yeah, I think we should put our chairs out to eat. So this is the front of our site here. You can see our sleepy dog over here. He's pretty tired. And then it's kind of just like an explosion of stuff because everything is so wet. So that was really fun. But my goodness, whatever Kate is, she's cooking up some, what is this, chili? Stuffed pepper. Unstuffed pepper. So you look at that, and then you look at that. You look at a little bit of wood. Haven't even used this axe. I've just been trying to cut and find small pieces. And then you come on up.
Get some chairs.
Get some chairs going.
Up the comfort level.
And then this is the view. It ends up being the view. And you're just like, what? It took so much work to get a little bit of nice peace and quiet out here, but it is beautiful. Oh baby.
Feeling good.
Big day tomorrow.
With our bellies full and the majority of our clothes dried out, we settled down by the fire for the rest of the night. Tomorrow we would move on to the Grayson River and find a campsite on Grayson Lake. Thanks for watching.